Good evening. Welcome to another episode of Cantinho Benfiquista podcast, number 130. Super João Mário. This was supposed to happen yesterday, but due to some technical difficulties, here we are today. I think the mood yesterday would have been better than it is today, but we got a lot to unpack after what we witnessed. It gave me flashbacks of the 90s. Oscar, I don't know if it gave you similar flashbacks, but
man, today's been one of it's legit. It was reminded me of legit the 90s. Didn't even have dinner. I swear to God, I was like pissed off beyond pissed off.
Literally. Welcome to those who are tuning in on the various platforms. There's a lot to talk about, so give us your thoughts in the comments. We got a speed version of the podcast today. We got some things that we need to handle after the fact, so we'll give you 45 to 60 minutes of some good content, and hopefully you'll partake in the conversation. As always, you have myself, Mike, Oscar's joining us, Jason's supposed to join us, and actually right on time. Jason, how are you?
Good. How you doing?
Good. So it'll be the three of us. I don't know if Kenny's going to join, but there'll be a lot to talk about with the three of us. I can promise you guys that. So give us your thoughts, your comments in the chat, and we'll be sure to discuss all your opinions and views. We'll talk about, obviously, Braga Benfica, Taça de Portugal. The road ends here in the quarterfinals. We'll talk about why it ended here. I have lots of opinions of it. We will talk about Bruges Benfica. After a defeat, how will we bounce back in the Champions League match, which is 6 games from now, next Wednesday, away. And we'll touch on André Almeida's departure and the ceremony, I guess, that he had before the match against Casa Pia. But again, join us in the conversation. Leave us your thoughts, your comments. Before we get started, I also wanted to mention thoughts and prayers go out to the people, the families in Turkey and Syria. A nightmare of what happened over there in terms of the earthquake. And having watched videos and footage, it's just, I can't imagine having to go through that. So I know our thoughts and prayers don't help those who passed away, don't help those that are buried under all of that cement, but we wanted to send our thoughts and prayers to those impacted near and far. E para a malta que esteja a ver em português, estejam à vontade de participar aqui nesta nossa conversa. Podem deixar os vossos comentários na caixa de comentários, que nós todos falamos e percebemos o português, por isso iremos abordar as vossas opiniões. De certeza que há muitas opiniões sobre o jogo de hoje, por isso disparem aí nos comentários que nós iremos falar sobre elas. Good evening, Nick. Good evening, guys. Didn't get a chance to watch the game today, man. It was a stressful one. How did the guys look? What's the red card justified? We're going to get into that, buddy. It was a doozy. Braga Benfica, starting 11. Benfica started with Baco Dimos, Otamendi, António Silva, Grimaldo, Florentino, Chiquinho, Neres, João Mário, Auschnitz, and Gonçalo Guedes, untouched from the victory against Casa Pia at the weekend. A game that I thought we looked good. A little bit of surprise, maybe. Gonçalo Ramos on the bench, Rafa on the bench. Benfica loses in penalties. Jay, I'll start with you. What do you have to say about this game?
I think my headliner says it all. Refs suck. I can't explain it. I thought the refs were more one-sided, was more towards the Braga team overall. They got most of the calls. We had a PK that wasn't called today. A red card that should have been given. I already forgot the player's name. It was just a lot of controversy in the game overall. Getting the red card in the first half didn't help either. I think it's kind of like one of those 50-50s, right? Like it could be a yellow, it could be a red. I understand why the red was given, but just like they went to go look for VAR for a red card, why couldn't they go look at it for the PK that was supposedly not a PK, which I don't understand. I don't know what else can be said. I think the referees had a big impact in the game. I thought Benfica played pretty well to have being down a guy for pretty much almost 90 minutes.
It was 90 minutes.
Yeah, it's just I just thought the team gave it their all. I was halfway through the game, towards the end, I was kind of hoping that we could kind of get through this and go to PKs, but which ended up happening and didn't go our way, right? Odysseus is a hell of a goalkeeper, but he can't save a PK for the life of him. I think my brother says it best on the chat. He just can't. I don't know what. I really didn't notice, but my brother said that Kenny mentioned that he went to the wrong side pretty much every time.
I think the first two he guessed right, and then I think the others, I don't think he guessed.
Yeah, like I said, I wasn't paying too much attention to it. I just know that they were scoring them and we were missing them. It was unfortunate. Freddie missed his second PK.
I had a bad feeling about that one.
Yeah, I remember we were talking in the chat.
As soon as he stepped up, I was like, I just have a bad feeling about this. And sure enough, he went to the same side and missed.
And Matil's beat us again, right? It's not the first time we lost to them in PKs. So, I mean, I thought overall the game, how we played, I thought we played well. I like the substitutions that he made. Bringing a third center back, especially with the man down. I thought if we could just get one Rafa run in the second half, it would have been nice. But he seemed like he was off as well, like coming back from injury. Ramos didn't look right either. Surprised he came out. I don't know if it was because of lack of fitness or whatever, but I just thought overall the team gave it their all. Even playing down to 10 and then eventually down to 9. I was kind of disappointed that we didn't move on. I wanted the double at least. And I mean, I know Oscar's probably going to bring it up, but is this really a disappointment? Yeah, it's very disappointing. We wanted this cup. We haven't won this cup in a while. And I had high expectations, and losing to Braga in 2 times in pretty much under a month, it sucks. And not a good feeling, I would say.
Yeah, I agree. So I'll pass it to you. I will say, before I kind of share my overall opinion, I will say that I'm more frustrated with how we lost than the fact that we lost. But we'll get into that. Oscar, what are your thoughts?
I mean, let's start off with Benfica played, 11 on 11 the first 30 minutes. Probably
and Braga didn't do shit.
Braga didn't do absolutely nothing. It felt like the game was going to be an easy game, almost like a replica of what Sporting did against Braga. A goal here, goal there. I'll tell you that what stopped this from happening is minute 18 and 5 seconds, which is the PK that was not called. The PK not called against Gonçalo Guedes. Basically, it doesn't mean that we score that goal. It doesn't necessarily mean we
completely change the game.
I don't know, man. João Mário is like automatic in that spot now.
Maybe,
but there's always a chance.
There's always a chance. I was like, you cannot say it's 2-0, right? It's going to be a possibility of a 2-0, but the whole game changes. That like the PK, the red card, the ball probably is not going to be there at the same time that it was there, because obviously there's 3 minutes on the PK that changes the whole dynamic of the game. Right. 100%. So everything after that changes. So could have been the Braga scores 5 goals on us, possibly.
Could have been we missed and still lost.
Correct. We don't know. But that changed the dynamic of the game, because we were absolutely killing them. We get to the minute 18, we could have been up 2-0, but no, they scored right away, because after the PK didn't happen, they scored on a right after like the red card, right? Like not too long after that.
30 minutes was the red card.
Right. So we had the red card which I have no doubt that's a red card, because the ball's not there. It goes to his upper ankle. Like stupid foul. Like it makes absolutely no sense why a player in that position, it's not like he's any danger right there, goes for the guy's higher ankle.
I blame Peasy for putting his foot there.
Dude, he passes the ball. The ball's gone. The guy felt like
I
he did
agree.
it on
I don't think there should be no doubts on that card.
Yeah, I felt like he did it on purpose. So there's absolutely when I listened to Rui Costa at the end of the game, he said it all. Like he's not saying that the red card is not supposed to be a red card, because he takes full responsibility for that. Right? There's a red card. The thing is how the ref doesn't see the other side, doesn't see the red card that should have been on the red card for the same exact play. Same ref, same VAR. The VAR calls the ref to see the images for the red card in the first half, does not call for the second half. Same exact play, right? So right there, like people in Rui Costa said it best, right? It could be 2 refs have different opinions. This is the same ref, same game. Both same VAR, same ref.
I have the footage here. Let me bring it up for you. We'll listen
penalti
to
para
it.
fazer com a possibilidade de ter o 2-0. Há um penalti claríssimo sobre o Gonçalo Guedes, não sou eu que o digo, é as imagens que mostram. Curiosamente, pelo mesmo árbitro que há poucas semanas atrás fazia de VAR no Estádio da Luz e chamou quase que obrigou Artur Soares Dias a marcar um penalti contra nós no Benfica Sporting, num lance exatamente com a mesma dinâmica, este com mais intensidade, e fez vista grossa. E curiosamente o Sr. Fábio Melo no VAR também fez vista grossa ao mesmo lance. Não vou contestar a expulsão do Bá, ela é clara, muito clara. O que eu não consigo compreender também é que no lance, na segunda parte, exatamente com a mesma dinâmica, exatamente igual, o Racic sobre o Fred, como é que o mesmo árbitro, e o mesmo vídeo-árbitro consegue analisar os lances de forma completamente diferente. Pior ainda é que no lance do Bá, que é expulso, o Sr. Fábio Melo consegue chamar o Tiago Martins ao VAR. E como é que neste lance, nem num nem noutro, nem neste lance sobre o Fred, nem no penalti sobre o Gonçalo Guedes, o Sr. Fábio Melo, que não é virgem nestas situações, nenhuma das situações conseguiu chamar o árbitro ao VAR. É inadmissível o critério, a dualidade de critérios, cada árbitro tem o seu critério. Aquilo que não se compreende é que o mesmo árbitro, o mesmo vídeo-árbitro, tenham dois critérios diferentes no mesmo jogo. E isto é inadmissível. À nossa equipa não tem nada a apontar. Nada a apontar. Sou o primeiro a vir à conferência de imprensa quando alguma coisa não corre bem com os árbitros. Tento sempre não fazer, mas nunca escondo as debilidades da minha equipa. Hoje não tenho nada a apontar à minha equipa. Foram capazes de jogar 1h30 em inferioridade numérica porque assim o quiseram. Portanto, nós lutámos por esta taça até nos terem deixado lutar por ela. Agradeço aos jogadores todo o empenho que tiveram. Agradeço aos nossos adeptos que estiveram aqui a assistir a este jogo.
Por
todo o apoio que deram à equipa. A todos os nossos adeptos que estiveram em casa a torcer pela equipa, escandalizados com aquilo que se passava dentro do campo. E acreditem, e a demonstração que nós demos hoje em campo é que estamos fortes. Jogámos 1h30 em Braga, num campo dificilíssimo. 1h30 de inferioridade numérica. Fizemos de tudo para continuar nesta taça e não nos permitiram continuar nela.
I love this.
No, exactly what my thoughts.
I didn't get to see this, but like that was awesome.
Yeah, that's exactly. And this I'm telling you, when it comes to I know Rui Costa had this whole thing from the beginning. Let's transparencia, like let's futebol limpo, blah 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 blah. But dude, we don't win campeonatos like that. Porto doesn't.
Correct.
Porto's today's game, if this was Porto getting the same treatment that Benfica got today's game, you see the bancadas, the macacos and the macacas on the fucking on the bleachers surrounding the ref's house right now, right? And the ref wouldn't be sleeping at home for the whole month, right? Because he would not be able to come back home. Now we think, we're innocent, we're victims. We're not gonna win shit with being victims. I think Rui Costa does the right thing, coming to the front of the cameras and calling these fuckers out for what they are, which is frauds and corrupt.
Yeah, I said it in our chat, but I'm more frustrated. Obviously, I'm frustrated that we lost. I hate losing against these guys. I hate Salvador. I don't know if you guys saw the footage at the end of the game. He stood up
with a smirk. Yeah,
and he stood up and like clenched his fists. And I get it, right? Like he's a fan. It's his club. I get it. I can't stand him. I'm more frustrated at the fact of how we lost. Like even for 90 minutes, we played down a guy. For 120 minutes, I never felt like Braga had us on the ropes. Like they had 2 shots from distance, and I think Ricardo Duarte had 2 shots from distance. But I never felt like Benfica was like up against it. Like the goal's coming. Like we defended well. I thought Roger Schmidt got it spot on with his changes, right? Moving to a back 3 with the wing backs, considering we have one less guy. I saw people criticizing him taking out Guedes. I would have taken out Neres, in my opinion. I would have left Guedes in there. I would have taken out Neres. But again, I don't think that like we lost the game because of any changes that he made. He said at the end that Rafa had 30 minutes in him, and he played 30 minutes. He played the overtime. He didn't mention anything about Gonçalo Ramos, but agreed. Like they both didn't look good. Gonçalo Ramos, I thought, looked better. Rafa looked completely out of it. Like his touch was poor. He wasn't able to like get on a run by himself. But like you said, Oscar, right? That penalty, I think, could change everything. The Rasic foul, again, even though Baz is higher, it's the same thing, right? So there's one criteria for one for the other. In the second half, late in the second half, Gomez, the right back, should have gotten a second yellow card when he fouls Auschwitz at midfield. And the ref doesn't give him a yellow. Like, it was as clear a yellow card as you can get, and he doesn't give it to him. And then what does he do? In overtime, he goes yellow card happy. And there was one that even Kenny mentioned it.
He stopped to see.
It was Tormena. He fouls it, and then he waits. He's like, did I give him a card? No. Okay, I'll blow the whistle. Okay, yellow card.
Yeah. No, he blew the whistle. Then he took forever.
He was debating in his head.
Give it the yellow card or not. Like, it took forever. Like, okay, this number. Turn around. Let's see if you have what number you have, because I want to make sure I haven't given you one yet. Like, that was so fucking obvious, man.
It was just, it's so frustrating. And to think about the stats, right? So Braga had 19 fouls against 7 for Benfica. Braga had 6 yellow cards. Benfica had 4 yellow cards. 1 is for Odysseus, and 2 are Moratus, and 2 red cards. With 19 fouls, we had 7 fouls, and they had 19. And most of their yellow cards in regular time, Rasic got a yellow and Castro got a yellow. That's it. They had 4 yellow cards in extra time. Like, I can't. And again, like, Moratus is 100. The foul that he gets sent off is a foul for a yellow card. It's a red card. I know that you guys mentioned his first one shouldn't have been a yellow. I don't remember what his first one was because he made so many stupid fouls. I don't remember which one the first one was that he got a yellow card on.
It was a push at midfield. No danger, nothing. It should not be a yellow card.
Okay. Yeah, I don't remember that one, but it's just frustrating to me.
He gave him a yellow card for that, but not on the foul right outside the box with Ricardo Horta. He didn't give him a card on that one, which, would make sense to give him on that. It was just one of those things that it just didn't, like you said, it didn't make sense. Something was up. It was fishy.
Yeah. And Joe Miguel says one of our yellows was Gilberto. He didn't end up giving the yellow card to Gilberto. It was somebody on the bench got a yellow card. It wasn't actually him, but he could have gotten a yellow card because he came on before he was supposed to. But with
I just want to say one more thing. I never seen Roger so mad in my entire life like he was on the sidelines today. He was fucking raging.
And I think
he was not happy
with good reason, right? Again, like, I want to make sure that people aren't like, oh, you guys lost and now you're all upset. But when Benfica lost to Braga 3-0 in the league, I think we all came on here and said, listen, we sucked. We lost. We should have lost. We had nothing to complain about. We sucked. Today, with one less guy for 90 minutes, I don't think we sucked. I think we played a hell of a game. I think very tactically we were spot on. We created chances. We got forward. And we lost in PKs. And I don't think it should have even gotten to PKs if the decisions were done correctly and down the middle and not with an inclined field. Like I said, Oscar, before we came on live, this reminded me of the 90s. Like one of those games where you just had, you put the call in and no matter what, you're not going to win this game. And it felt exactly like that. And again, it could have gone either way in penalties, right? We could have won, we could have lost. But everything leading up to that was incredibly frustrating. And I'll ask you guys this is, right, there's so much talk about like centralização dos direitos televisivos and stuff like that. Like, how can we sell our product outside of Portugal when we have things like this happening? Like, do you think it's even possible, Oscar?
No, it's not. And this is when I almost I was so against it when Florentino Perez wanted to do the big league, the European league with the big teams, the Super League. Like, this is the reason why I wouldn't mind Benfica joining that Super League, because like, fuck the Portuguese league because of this shit. Because this is like, to me, is like, how do you sell a product where you're gonna do this? Like, you're not gonna sell a product when Kenny says something about and this is against Benfica too. When he said something about Gonçalo Guedes, the second, or not, it was Jay that said it, right? The second foul that he stayed on the ground for a while, blah blah blah. Yeah. There was a touch there, but he tried to sell it. He tried to flop on the area. I don't like that. We're not gonna sell the league or sell this kind of product that we have in Portugal by doing that kind of shit. All right, we're not. And if this is in England, it's a yellow card for flopping. You know what I mean? Like, that's why the EPL is what it is today compared to the Portuguese league. It's like there's no even competition, not even like close to, like, the refs have to get this straight. The Portuguese league has to get together and reform this whole thing, or else we're not going to go anywhere.
Jake, do you agree? And do you think, even from a player perspective, is it even more motivation for the big name players, even Portuguese players, to be like, I don't want to be here, right? Like, there's too much politics. There's clearly too much stuff going on off the field that impacts on the field. And again, I want to make it clear, this is not just for Benfica, Porto. Like, it happens in majority of the games. Benfica's been favored. Benfica's been had results go against them. So I don't want it to think like we're just here saying Benfica's always, pushed down and we don't get. Yes, we get favorable calls. Porto gets favorable spot, but like, some of them are just so obvious that you can't help but think there has to be a motive behind that. But Jay,
with VAR, remember,
Yeah.
there's VAR.
Yeah, so like I kind of agree with Oscar. Like, it's tough to sell a product that like I don't even think we believe in, right? We're Portuguese people and we don't believe in this product. Talk trash about the Portuguese league and the rest and how everything is kind of handled behind doors with, I don't know, checks or envelopes with a lot of cash or prostitutes or whatever. I don't know. I don't know what happens behind these deals that they do, but something was fishy today. I'll tell you that. And I agree. We get calls. We absolutely do. But to me, I just want to see a good game. Like you said earlier, when we lost to Braga, I had nothing. I couldn't say anything bad. What do we all say? We fucking suck. We suck today. There's nothing we could have. Like, it was just a poor play game, and I agree. The way that we lost this game, it's, I don't know. We were noticing things throughout. We were like, dude, are you serious? Like, come on. How is that not a second yellow? Or how is that not a red too? Or 15 minutes ago, you gave red, but it happened to the same type of play, and you didn't give a red. So it's a tough sell. And then you wonder why the Portuguese league can't keep their talents, like you said. You wonder why some of these players be like, dude, this is a joke. Let's get the hell out of here and go to a different league. Even, like, I don't even think the French league is that much better than ours, but like, they probably don't have the same bullshit that we have here. And I don't know. It just leaves like kind of a sour taste in my mouth today. I don't agree with how everything was handled with the refs, and I don't think. And like you said, like, I don't know if we would have won this game or not if we got that.
Correct.
I don't know if we would have made. We would have been up 2-0, or if the game would have, like João Miguel said in one of his comments, we could have been 3-0 at halftime. Like, we don't know. We could have lost the game 5-3. Who knows? But it just would have been better to see a fair game.
It'll be a fair game.
I didn't think today was a fair game, and it's never fun when you're on the other side. Obviously, it's cool to be on the side that wins, but when it doesn't go your way, it leaves a sour taste. And we can kind of sound like we're bitching and moaning. Yeah, I am bitching and moaning. Like, and I'm glad that my president spoke up today and said something in front of the cameras and became like pretty much back, like, was the leader for our club. Like, he was just like, dude, this is bullshit. We're not going to take this, and we're going to speak our minds on it. So I kind of enjoyed all that. I didn't see the interview, and I'm glad that you played that because I was able to see it.
I have a basic stuff to bring up. You know, how many years did Otamendi play for Porto before he got sold to City? Or
4
did
maybe?
4 years. And he's been at Benfica for 2 years now. 2.5.
Wasn't he at? Oh, you're asking how long he was at Porto?
Correct.
He went to Porto in 2014.
Did you ever see?
Didn't he go to Valencia after?
Or I don't know if we went to. I think
He was at Porto City from 2014, and then he went to Valencia in 2015. So he was only there a year. All right, keep talking.
Really?
All right. So my thing is, when he was at Porto, did you ever see him put up a tweeter or a tweet?
I didn't think he had Twitter.
No. Check his tweet. Like, he put up a tweet today, something about how is this even possible? How the basically how the refs go for one way instead and not the other, and all that. See, players like that, like you see Enzo coming in, you see Roger coming in with a lot of talent. Like, Fred comes in to a league they doesn't know. This is all guys with talent. When they see this kind of these refs and how they ref these games and how so unbiased, it doesn't motivate you. It basically wants you to get the hell out. And I agree with Jay. Like the good talent doesn't want to play in a league like this. They want to get the hell out and play in a league that's competitive and fair. So I don't blame him. And like we were shitting on Enzo last week for the whole hour that we were here, basically telling him to choke. But he goes and plays an EPL compared to playing in the Portuguese league with this kind of shit pissing him off. We basically knows that it's not fair. So sometimes I don't blame these guys for wanting to leave.
Yeah, and he joined Porto in 2010 from Vélez, and then he was on loan to Atletico for one season. But yeah, so he was there 5 years.
Never once saw him put a tweet up about arbiters being unfair to him.
Let me go through some of these comments quickly. So Nick says, damn, it's a good thing I didn't watch this game while at work. I might have yelled at my coworkers. Jimmy Miguel says, for 30 minutes, 11v11, we dominated them in a manner that Braga would have most likely lost 3-0 about halftime. Again, it could have been 2-0 because of that penalty. It could have been 1-0 after that penalty. We could have gone into the half losing. But the fact that penalty is not called, I think
changes the whole game.
Or even looked at.
Ridiculous.
Or even looked at. They didn't even go look at the TV or anything. That's bullshit.
The ref made a signal. There was a throw-in on the other end, and the ref made a signal saying, like, and that's when Geddes got pissed off. So they must have told him in his ear, no, play on. Dave, our buddy Dave, Braga fan, I want to hear your thoughts on
yeah, please let me know what you think about arbitrage. And I want actually a fair opinion from a Braga fan.
And if you want to jump into the podcast, let me know. I'll send you the link as well. But if you want, comment, or you can join us and give us your thoughts. But I'd be curious to know an opinion from your side of it, having seen what we saw today, if you watched the game. Miguel says, truly sad because it happens in all the games, not only the big three. Like Mike said, the whole league as a whole is just abysmal due to the referee and VAR being corrupt. It's like watching WWE where you know the result prior to the game. Today definitely felt like it was staged. Like everything went against you. SLB, yes, welcome back, buddy. Tough loss today, even with the man down. We looked the better team. I thought we looked very good.
We looked organized.
Very organized. And moving to a 3 at the back made me nervous because I don't think we've played that all season. But I thought we looked good. Jim Miguel says, I'm fine with losing a match when it's fair and the criteria is across the board. Not the same game. It changes because of the color shirt and emblem on it. What's up, Jay?
Did you guys think that – were you surprised that Lucas Verissimo didn't come in instead of Murat? Like, I thought that was a little surprise for me.
Well, we needed somebody in the left. If with a three back, you needed a lefty. And Murat was the only lefty on that option.
I didn't even think about that, Oscar, but good pickup. Yeah,
but I like Verissimo better than Morato. I do 100%. Too. But like playing three righties right in the back, it would be kind of like.
And Morato being lefty, playing on that side, it's more capable of playing those balls down the line with his left foot, where Lucas Verissimo is going to be inside most of the time.
Yeah.
But I didn't even think about that. I'll ask you guys this: are you surprised that Rafa and Ramos didn't start, or one or the other didn't start?
I'm not because, and I'll tell because Roger Smith said it fine. He said they're not ready. They're not match fit ready. Right? You know what I mean? Like we could tell by that when they came in, they were not. Like Ramos couldn't control a ball when it came to him. Couldn't hold it up top. Rafa couldn't get his touch on, so he can get it on his burst of speeds that he usually does. So like both of them were off, and I think they need to be like come into the game. He's the man into the starting 11.
I kind of agree with Oscar. They needed some more. I feel like they need more training, another week or so, and then they'll probably be back to normal. But you could tell that they were just trying to get the rust off. Trying to get the rust off. That's basically it.
Now, my question to you guys is, we'll jump through a couple different topics here. On this game, who was your MVP? For me, there's a clear one, but Jay, I'll start with you.
MVP for the whole game?
Yeah.
Skip me for now.
Oscar, who's your MVP?
I mean, there's two. I thought that Frederick had an unbelievable game, even though he missed his PK. He was all over the pitch. That guy does not get tired. He was a defending, attacking. When we're down to 10 guys, he was a beast, complete beast. Never hit from the ball, always the right spots. And then I thought Tony Silva, a young little kid, fucking had a phenomenal game too. And then he stepped up for the PK and he just buried it. So to me, those are my two options, but I would stick to Frederick just because he stepped up when we had a guy down.
Jay, you pick one yet?
See, like to me, it's tough to pick. I can kind of agree with what Oscar said there, but like I think overall as a team playing down to man, I thought we played outstanding. I don't think one individual stuck out to me. I probably would say Gids, but he only played. I would say Gids, but he only played a little bit because he scored the goal. But I think overall the team played well as a unit, and it's tough. I thought they played well down to man.
No, I agree. I think
I'll give it to the whole team.
The team as a whole was definitely solid. But for me, Chiquinho, man,
he was a quiet.
He wasn't as noticeable. He wasn't as noticeable until we went down to 10 men. But when we went down to 10 men and we changed the formation, dude, he was an absolute animal. Like cleaning up, getting in tackles, poking the ball away. Like he was all over the place. And I was really impressed. I know that we've talked about him recently and said, it was against Pastoreta or it was against this or against that. But I was really impressed with how he stepped up today. He never looked like he was afraid. He never looked like he wanted to hide from the ball. He had a couple of tackles at the edge of the box. He was smart with what he did with the ball. For me, he's hands down for me the MVP if I have to pick someone. But I agree with you guys in terms of the team. I thought looked solid. Dave's actually going to join us. I just sent him the link, so I'll be interested to see what a Braga fan's perspective
today,
is. Man. Oh, I'm sure he is. But I'll be interested to see what his perspective is. While we wait for him, how do you guys feel about bouncing back? Next game is against Bruges, a team that's won 3 of their last 13. They've won 1 in their last 8 since the World Cup. They're not doing very well. I think Benfica's shown us that they can bounce back after losing to Braga, but how are you feeling, Oscar?
I think we'll be fine. Do I see? I mean, I'm glad that we have 7 days in between games right now. 6 days, which is crucial because a lot of teams and this happened because we moved that game that we were supposed to play this weekend back. So
Braga plays in 3 days in the Madeira.
Yeah, right. So like this game to us having that postponed game moved up is crucial because now we can rest the guys. I was actually scared because I sent the text in the chat. I was like, dude, now we have the Champions League coming up and we just tired all the guys and all that. But I forgot that we're not playing this weekend, so it gives us 6 days to kind of recover. So I think we should bounce back. I hope there's no I know Rafa was having a few stay down on the ground for a few minutes because he was hurt. Ramos left early. He came in and he got subbed out again. So I hope there's nothing there and we can have a full squad to go back on Champions League. We should be fine. We should bounce back, and it's a good game to have right now.
Jay, I'll pass it to you, but first I'm going to read Nick's comment here. I think the team will be very focused, especially since there's a feeling that we have been done wrong. I anticipate a great game for us. I agree. I think that should potentially galvanize the team. Jay, thoughts?
Yeah, I completely agree with what Nick just said as well. Like, I think knowing that we're not going to have a Portuguese ref there, we're going to have a legit ref, and we're playing for champ. Are we playing home?
No way.
First game's away. Game's away.
I still think that for this game, right? It's Champions League. I think we're going to come out and we're going to come out firing. I don't think this team's ever lost focus, even though we lost today. I think the only game that I can say that we lost focus is that loss against Braga. I think that overall we're a very mentally tough team, and I think that we bounce back very easily, and I think we should get a W on Wednesday.
Yeah, and just to remember, we've only lost once in the league, which was against Braga. After we lost that game, we beat Portimonense 1-0, we beat Berzin 2-0, we tied 2-2 against Sporting, beat Santa Clara 3-0, beat Pastoreta 2-0, beat Aroca 3-0, beat Casa Pia 3-0. So we went on a stretch of 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 games where we only conceded 2 goals, right? And we won 6 of 7.
But my biggest thing is the 2 bad results, or the 2 out of the 3 bad results knocked us out of cups. and that's what pisses me off.
Yeah, and that's the word, right? We're out of the Taça Liga and we're out of the Taça de Portugal without having lost the game in regulation, which is even more impressive.
Shit luck, dude. Shit luck.
While we wait for Dave, now being out of the Taça de Liga, now being out of the Taça de Portugal, right? We have Champions League, we have the league. I think we all agreed here that we wanted the Taça de Portugal and the Campeonato for sure. How do you guys feel now in terms of what we have to fight for, and what would you now consider a good season? Like, would you be happy if we just won the league? Like, how does your gauge go? Jay, I'll start with you.
We 100% need to pass Bruges. For me, we have to win the league and we have to pass Bruges. After that, it's kind of like a crapshoot. But I mean, I would prefer them to go to the semis in the Champions League. To me, like to make leaving Taça Portugal, I would say semis, because like I was really banking on the Taça Portugal. Like I thought that we had a really good shot of winning this title. We haven't won it in a while. I thought we could get the double this year. So I would say semis for the Champions League, which is going to be very, very tough, in the championship. That would be successful for me. If that, I mean, obviously winning the champion would be successful, but not as high hopes as I had it for, I would say.
Those of you watching and listening, let us know what you think we need to achieve now. Nick says, now they're out of the Taça, we need the quarterfinals, and to win the league. And to get to the quarterfinals, we have to beat Bruges, which I think is very attainable. Oscar?
Yeah, I think I agree with Jay. I think 100% the league has to be ours. And if we just win the league and say by chance we get knocked out by Bruges, which I don't think will happen, to me, winning the league, because we haven't won it in like 4 years, will be an acceptable season. Acceptable. I'll accept it. Yeah. All right. Now, a successful season to me is like what Jay said, is winning the league and going to semifinals. That's a successful season, because obviously when you're talking top four of Champions League, Benfica, even though we think they're up there, they really are not yet, because of money-wise, right? Money talks when it comes to those players. So I think I agree with Jay. Semifinals and winning the league is a successful season.
Okay. And without further ado, we got.
It just sucks because, like, I'm sorry, I really had an expectation.
Gentlemen, how's the audio?
It's good. We're
it's
good.
good.
Oscar, how you feeling, buddy? You all right?
Man, I kind of felt a little bad. I thought PZ broke his leg or something. I was like kind of worried.
Me too, buddy. Me too. I thought the same thing.
Dave,
but he didn't score a banger today, so.
Right, but
what's the Braga perspective, Dave? What's your take on this game?
All right, yeah. Let me set up here. All right. How do I take it? It wouldn't have shocked me. I'm going to go right to I listened for a few minutes and listen to Oscar rant, and I'm not against it. Does it change the game? Yeah, you could probably call. Not probably. It wouldn't have shocked me had they called Gidge foul. Gonçalo Gidge foul wouldn't have been a shocker to me. There's some contact there. But does he make the PK right? Does it change the game? Absolutely. Could have. Where the game still is tactics involved, I do believe where the game lost on your part is he gambled on the Neres versus Gidge substitution. Because if he couldn't attack Cerqueira and beat him when he's the dead weight on my club, dead weight as a left back, there's a guy who made him look like crap. He has to be protected. The whole first 30 minutes, although you scored on that one play to get 14, I missed the first 10. Yeah. Andre Horta did an amazing job helping out on that side of the pitch the entire time before the what's his name got the second yellow.
Wow.
Right.
No, the rest straight red.
Straight red. Excuse me. Yeah. So Andre Horta's ability or I guess job was to help him out. The same thing when they played Sporting. They had to go to a 3-defender set to throw in another central defender because he would have just got exposed, and he ended up getting exposed anyway, so it didn't matter. But I think that's where the game changed for me on your club's part. He took a gamble, the right gamble. I think you have to take it. Ned should be able to take Cerqueira on at some point. Whether you guys didn't do a good enough job dragging Andre Horta out of that area to create those opportunities and those overlaps, because Cerqueira can't run, he can't close out, and he's so conservative where you should be able to cross the ball in the box more often than anything happened on that side. That's my opinion, and it didn't happen enough. Now,
my thing with that is that only happened after the red card, right? So we didn't have the offensive guys going forward with a ball possession. Right. You guys at that point we're just defending and almost countering, like counterattacking. That's what we're.
And don't forget the guy that gets sent off is a huge presence on that side going forward, where Gilberto's not. Right,
Cerqueira would have been exposed with Ba.
Right. So
he was.
From the goal, so I missed the first 12 minutes. The goal came at 14 and change. 15?
Right. 15. Yeah, 15. Right. And then the red card, the foul for the PK is like 18 and something.
Right. So I can't speak for the
red is
10.
in the 30th minute.
But other than that cross in the box, was it a corner or was it a set piece?
It was a set. It was like a corner back to corner. It was like a short corner,
which is
cross in.
Played back in.
My defenders are terrible at that, which I thought that was the only time you guys. He was wide open. It kind of went on the ricochet.
He was, yeah.
Too,
and there wasn't many. I don't remember any clear chances
from the goal on. Well, yeah, a little before that. From what I listened on the radio, I felt like the radio at least put that emphasis that Benfica was dominating the game. Could have been after the expulsion's different. Where I thought we played well was I thought we stopped trying to, once you brought that center back in, we stopped trying to force the ball down the middle. Peasy coming out at half changed that too, because I think that's the major addition that he brings, is to be able to make that final pass down the middle of the pitch, where he's probably better than anybody we have on the team at that situation. We stopped trying to because we didn't want to get countered. I thought when you guys broke, you looked dangerous. But besides that, Osnes, I forget how to pronounce his name.
Freddie.
Yep.
He took a shot, which if it went in, that wouldn't have shocked me. Was that at like 65 minutes?
Yeah.
Would that have shocked you had that gone in? No. That would have been a typical goal given up in this league by a team. It's just my team, my club at least. That doesn't shock me. I thought it was a pretty hard-fought game where I don't think we made too many mistakes either. Now you're going to say the field inclined. Okay, let's go to that aspect of it.
Well, let's go step by step here.
All right.
First play, Ba red card. I think we're all in agreement, 100%, no doubts, 100%. Okay. The Geds foul, Dave.
PK, that's before
penalty
that.
Or no penalty for you?
Right. It wouldn't have shocked me. I'm okay if they called it, but it doesn't affect me if they didn't either, because I thought he did over exaggerate a little bit.
Yeah, but exaggerating after the foul doesn't matter. Like
it kind of does. Like it kind of, you can't say in this league that it does. Like you can have contact in football.
Correct.
It's okay.
It's a contact sport.
And the problem I have in the Portuguese league is eles deixam jogar porrada ali no meio campo, and then in the box, every little toquezinho, it's a penalty kick. I don't think you can have that disparity. So there's a problem.
I think we all agree with that.
Right?
I think we talked about.
Now, had they called the
we can't sell our product like that.
Right. You can't allow these dudes to go ham in the middle of the field and then every little touch. So I don't think in the box they should be with all the theatrics and that. And
they should punish the theatrics. They should absolutely punish.
Could they call that? It wouldn't have been for me polemic if they called it.
Right.
Wouldn't have been. I'm okay with that. That's part of the game. Did you touch him? Right. So the Rashish thing, I'm okay with the yellow. I do believe there's a difference from hitting the leg and the foot on a challenge. If you're trying to stop the ball and you stop on the guy's toes, this is just my opinion. I think it's different than when you hit the guy's calf muscle or a little below it. I'm exaggerating maybe on the calf, but you hit above the ankle clearly with your cleat up. I do think that's different. That's a more dangerous play than trying to stomp on the ball. Had they not given a yellow, I think that would have been more of an outrage than not going back. Did he already have he had a yellow? Was it after that or prior? I'm trying to remember.
He didn't have he could have gotten a yellow before that, and he didn't.
Right. So that's probably
and then he got that
another addition to it.
The foul from Gomez, on Auschwitz in midfield when he has a yellow card in like the 80th minute and doesn't get a yellow card.
Right.
Thoughts on that?
So does he try to go shoulder to shoulder and he gets hit? Is there a guy behind him? Why not? He's as tall as me, bro.
Dave, kick that into this cup, Dave.
The guy's 5'6", dude. He's going against the
guy even. I think
it makes a difference, dude.
I absolutely think the guy, your player, actually thought he was gonna get the second yellow. I think he was already ready to come out, and then he's like, "Fuck, I didn't give it to me."
Yeah. So listen, I can understand that. Should he have gave it to him?
100%. I don't think there's any doubt on that one. 100%.
You think so? All right.
Oh my God.
Happens. That happens. Being honest, that's my opinion. I like a physical game. That's okay.
I don't disagree. Yeah, I just think that one was an absolute no-brainer.
What about the yellow cards? So Nakate gets a foul on probably the 90. I forget even 1 minute.
On João Mário?
It was a joke. There's also a central defender behind him.
Yeah, I don't think that was a foul. I don't think he grabbed him.
Right, but you did force our best ball-carrying central defender to now be more conservative. He's already a hothead. He had to
agree with
out
that.
Of the game.
I didn't think it was a foul.
Affects the game.
But Dave, I think the ref, what Thiago Martins, his name is, had all the names and numbers on that paper. He would not give anybody a second yellow on your team until he gave everybody on that and your team a first yellow. You probably go, all right, this guy doesn't have 1 year. Okay, I can give it to him. This guy always he has one. Forget it. I can't give it.
Dave, did you see the Tormenta yellow card?
I watched the game. So
when he blows the whistle and then he's like,
did he give him one?
After like 3 minutes, he goes, "Oh, okay, maybe he doesn't have one yellow card."
yeah, right.
No,
the league is tough. I agree with you guys. The league's tough. Okay, but there are fouls where you look at you like these dudes kick the shit out of each other. They're just a foul, and
100%.
Nothing was giving, and then a touch. There's the disparity there. And this time, I think it's okay to say, yeah, you know what? I got a couple calls that were rough football, but it happens, especially here. I think we can all agree that it's especially here. We can all say Fiorentino steps on people's feet a lot more than he gets the card for. That happens. That's the one thing I always said about that kid before you guys loaned them out. He used to fucking step on everybody's feet and never get a card at all.
Do you see Pep playing?
So I watched him punch that Sporting guy in the face.
And how many red cards has he gotten these last two seasons?
Dude, I hear you. I'm not gonna go against you in that regard. There is some disparity, but I don't think it was a terrible game. That it was 100% affected. There's always calls that affect the game. Now, did the ref just say, "Listen, now I'm allowing more physical play," or did the VAR just specifically not call down to go look at the sheet? I don't know. I wish we could listen to it.
That would be nice if they would publicize the audio from the referees, which would be. I don't think they'll ever do it in Portugal, just because, again, it's just my opinion, but I think there's a lot of stuff in the background that happens that would. Go ahead.
Sorry, if it happens, go ahead. I apologize.
No, finish. Go ahead.
The football aspect of this, right? Obviously, the red card changes. And you agreed with the 3-defender set?
I liked it because it allowed us to push our outside backs up, right? Because if we stayed with a 4 and, right, you have your outside backs sitting deeper, I think it'd be tougher. I think the whole theory was, let's play with 3 center backs. We push Gilberto and Grimaldo further up the field, and they give us a little more opportunity to get out, opposed to if we played with 4, we'd basically be sitting so deep that it would be difficult for us to get up the field. And I thought it showed that, where even though we played with 3, technically 5 at the back, I don't know if you had the different opinion, but we said it earlier. I think Benfica never looked like we were up against the ropes. Like, I never felt Braga was like all over us and the goal was coming, right? They had André Horta shot. I think Ricardo Duarte had one too. But apart from that, like, I never felt like you guys were just like foot on the throat and basically about to put us out of our misery. Like, I never felt like Benfica lost control of the game. But I don't know if you, from the other side of the fence, have a different opinion.
I think we were a lot more calm, obviously being up a man, but we did not force the ball by any circumstance. And I think Al-Musrati doesn't get the credit he deserves. And he misses some passes too. He
played good. He's a machine.
O gajo tem essa tranquilidade. It's like he's so relaxed. You always think the ball's going to get stolen from him, and the last second he can make this Trivela.
He uses his body as well.
Yeah, he's good. He didn't force the ball. He had 19 turnovers the last game. He had like maybe 1 or 2 got cut off, but the ball didn't go down the middle. As soon as Pizzi was out, that was it. It was like, we're not going to do this. We'll bring in Bruma, and he can bring the ball himself up and make a pass, if anything, but we're not going to just sit here and try to force it down the middle. I thought we did pretty well, although we didn't take as many shots as I would have liked. You guys played pretty compact, pretty good. You guys got good players. Let's not forget who you guys are, right? You guys got good players. Do you think you showed up to win though? Once he made that substitution, like, did they try to win the game? I didn't see it either, because I just didn't think you guys did enough, even down a man, to look like you wanted to win.
I know, but you also have to look at it. You got a red card in the 30th minute. You got 60 minutes ahead of you, right? Which against we're playing against Braga, right? Away, right? Like, let's also give credit on the other side, right? Like, Braga's playing a hell of a season. Braga's got a very good team. Braga has a guy like Ricardo Duarte on the bench, right? Like, so they have a solid team to start, and then they also have a guy like him on the bench that's still not fit that they can bring on. Now, just like we can look at it from your perspective, right? Did Benfica do enough to win, or was their substitution with the mindset of holding on and maybe we'll get lucky? Maybe, right? But I think that also shows the respect that we have for the opponent on the other side of the field. If this is a game against, no disrespect to anyone else, but if this is a game against a team below 4th place, maybe Benfica doesn't make that change, right? Because it's like we're far superior. We should still be able to maintain control of the game with one less guy, whereas against the Braga away, right, it's a different story. So I think it shows, at least in my opinion, that it shows the respect that we had for you guys. Jay, I don't know if you see it that way as well.
Yeah, I mean, I think it was the right call to go to the 3-back, regardless of who they took out, if it was Gids or if it was Neds. I mean, someone needed to come out, and Roger chose who he chose. I kind of agree with what you said. It was kind of like the respect. We just got smacked by Braga like a month ago, 3-0. So we're not going to try to play them.
Be heroes.
Yeah, exactly. We're not going to try to. We're going to try to maintain the result and try to see it through. Or, like I said earlier in the show, I thought we were playing for PKs because we were just trying to maintain the game and trying to not let Braga like try to score another one on us. I thought we were trying to play for PKs, and like I told you, like our goalie.
We got what we wanted. It just didn't come out.
Our goalie can't fucking save a PK for the life.
Did the Rafa substitution come too late?
The coach said he only had 60 minutes in him.
30 minutes.
Well, 30 minutes.
So he said, yeah, he hasn't played in 3 weeks, and he said he only had. But I thought he was going to come on earlier. But having seen what he did in extra time, I'm not surprised that he held on, because he looked completely out of whack. Like, he just looked nowhere near the Rafa that we're used to seeing. Obviously, he's been out for a little while, but he didn't look motivated. He looked completely out of it. Like, there was a couple of plays where he got bumped and he kind of just like gave up. He looked frustrated. But I think obviously Rafa in better form, having played a few more minutes before this game, I think would have come on earlier, right? Because we were talking about it in our chat, right? Like, we need speed, right? We need someone to play that ball in over the top to stretch that back line, right, and drop them back. But unfortunately, we didn't have that, which is why I was surprised that Geds came off instead of Neds, because Geds can give you that. But he's not as good with his feet in tight spaces and controlling the ball as Neds is, right? So, like, what gamble do you want to take, right? Do you want the guy that's going to go in deep, but you're going to lose possession of the ball? Or do you want the guy that's going to help you keep possession of the ball and move the ball up the field, right? And I think that was the risk that he took. And I think it worked out because we didn't lose in regulation, right? I think we got where we wanted to go, which is what Jay said. Difference is that penalty shootout's a crapshoot, right? You don't know how it's going to come out.
It would have been nice if Bonza's goal went in, though, at the end.
Oh, the one off the
back
post,
here?
Yeah. I got nervous. To be honest with you.
You guys in orbit, dude. You guys would have lost your mind right there.
Oh, especially at the death. SLBS, in my opinion, Benfica would have down, created more and better opportunities to score. Dave, today's a quickie version of our pod. We got about 5 minutes left. I got a question for you. We've all shared our opinions here about Braga in this season. I made a prediction about 3 weeks ago that by the end, or about 2 weeks ago, by the end of February, I think Braga will be at least 5 points back of Porto.
Mhm.
They're currently in third place. How do you sum up their season, and do you think they're going to have the legs to see out this race, if not for the title, at least for second place, or do you think they'll fizzle out?
For a 60-second rant right here.
You can have
I've
2
seen them-
minutes.
I've seen them play better football over the last few years than this year. I don't think
Really?
I think Carvalhal at times played better football than people gave him credit for.
I agree with that.
In 2 windows, he was given 250,000 euros, and he bought a backup right back. Okay, this team is a better team. I thought he was
I can agree
given
with that.
more options to start the year, and then he came in and he brought in where he lacked, and he moved out the 2 young kids he had filling in where Pizzi and Bruma came in for.
Yeah.
You lost Vitinha, but I don't think in Braga's best performances, they did their best with 2 strikers on the pitch. I just don't see that. That wasn't their best thing, and I think Vitinha also knew that. That first Benfica match was we had him on the bench. It was probably one of our best performances of the year.
Yeah.
I think we are a better team now with Pizzi, and I can criticize Pizzi for probably a whole nother
Oscar's not here, so you can criticize him.
Right. But it was never about his talent or what he's capable of. It was his attitude. I never cared for his attitude. But anyway, we just find a way to get results, which is a good thing because I've seen too many years Braga played good football and would lose 1-0, 19 shots. I watched Sapinto. I watched Giuseppe Zaidu. These guys could find a way to get shots off, and they just couldn't score. I'm happy that we're finding a way to get goals and results. This is a big month. This is a huge month. Maveda on Sunday, I think, is going to be very difficult because you have no Musrati and no Yuri Medeiros, who also has no legs.
Suspended?
You got a red card at the end of the second yellow or yellow card suspension. Him and Yuri got one. So that's going to be tough. But we found ways to get results. I think we're playing football in a manner. Once Bonza's on, he pushes center backs and he looks for that depth, and he's pretty good coming back and heading out to the side. So I don't know if we're going to be holding on to the end of the year because there was a lot of the win against Vitória in the final seconds, and we got outplayed. Yep, we were outplayed.
And you had Passo Ferreira just recently in the 97th minute,
which probably was a great game too. Right, It was a great game. We had chances as well.
Yeah, I saw the stats. You guys,
but Yori went 1-on-1 with Marafona, and he missed 3. 1-on-1 with the goalie 3 occasions. He missed all 3. So if you didn't win, that's on you.
Exactly.
I hope we don't fizzle out. I'm hoping for a Champions League berth. I really am.
That would be huge.
It'd be massive for the club. But I do think we're fighting for top 3 in the long run. I don't think we'll be down 5 come February. I think we'll find a way to still be in it come the Porto match.
So you play Porto in March 19th.
That's when you guys bend over backwards for that.
For years, this bullshit too. No, we're different. We're a selling club. I don't think anybody discredits that, but this president,
we all are
all
of us are.
This president has done a great job for all his shenanigans and shit that people hate. This club is in a better place than they were when he took.
100%.
I don't think anybody will say, yeah, you can't. So
no, you
5
can't.
points.
As much
I
don't like him. They 100% are in a much better place.
Hey, I said in the pod that Braga comes in second place this season.
You did.
I'm a big believer in that team. I think
Jay's a believer in you guys.
Talent.
You're down 2 now, so it's very feasible that you could be down 5. And looking at Braga's,
I think next week it changes. I think we win in Marítimo, and I think they draw with Sporting. And
did you see who the ref is for the Sporting?
I haven't looked at it. Did that come out already?
I mean, you should know it through
Suarez. Opa, I like
it. It's a special order. It never fails.
Yeah, right.
Braga's got Marítimo away. They got Braga. They got Fiorentina at home. They got Aroca at home. They got Fiorentina away. They got the Derby Minhoto against Guimarães to end the month of February. So very, very tough month of February. Dave, before we sign off here, Is Benfica going to hold on for the title?
I think you guys are in a very delicate spot. That you have
delicate. We're up like 8 points.
Yeah, very delicate spot because I think you need a trophy badly.
Oh, 100%.
And I think there's only one trophy left. Like that does weigh on something. You can't go trophyless many years. Happens for everybody else. The pressure's completely different. Now there's only one trophy left. So
it's true.
That's it, guys.
But do you think we're going to hold on for it? Don't play Switzerland here.
There's 17. I'm not. I'm just 17. No, you
guys. Who's
going to
win the title, right? Dave? Who's going to win the title, Dave? Yes, we've played 20.
I think in the next 4 weeks we'll have a better thing. I never thought you guys would blow the 7-point lead a couple of years ago. I never thought Port was going to blow theirs when they.
Yeah.
So how much are you up right now? If Port wins,
we're 8 with a game in hand. If Porto wins, we're 5. But we have the head-to-head with them because we beat them there, unless we lose to them. So, we have that advantage. But it doesn't get applied, obviously, until the end of the season, until we play them.
Right. Well,
but the title game, Benfica's title game, if everything goes well, could be at home against Braga.
That should be fun.
I'm flying over on next week. I'm going over for Fiorentina, and then home with Oroca. I'm flying out Tuesday.
Nice.
And we'll see. So it should be a good time. Maybe if it comes down to it, maybe I'll have to fly back, and that might be a big game for me too.
There you go.
Well, have fun, man.
Safe travels, Dave. As always, a pleasure to have you on. It's good to get a perspective from someone else on the other side of the fence. Again, difficult result for us today, but you win some, you lose some. Like I said, I'm more frustrated with how we lost than the fact that we lost. But nonetheless, it was a hell of a game. And Braga's, like you said, right? When you look at Braga over the years, significant strides to where they are today from where they were many years ago.
It's a different world now. It is unfriggin' believable how they're in this position they are now, and they really are a brand new team since January. You lost the player you had to play because what he offers, even though it didn't fit the club, and you got stronger depth wise. You said it earlier. The bench was an advantage for us. When you look down the bench as time went on, I said, we're going to throw in Jallo, Bruma, Ricardo Horta. I think it's noticeable that we're in a better spot right now. But hey, gentlemen, I love your show.
Dave,
big fan. You guys are awesome.
I appreciate it.
Take care.
For all these tuning in, have a good evening. Viva Benfica, and we will be back next week. Later, boys.
Viva!